Avengers Endgame is the biggest foreign film to ever premiere in China, grossing over $330 million during its opening weekend, just $27 million short of its first weekend in the US. Hollywood is increasingly relying on success at the Chinese box office, which is expected to surpass the US in the coming years. But as it becomes the world's biggest film market, Chinese moviegoers and government censors are starting to have a say in what ends up in theaters around the world. There are over 60,000 cinema screens in China, but each year, only 34 foreign films are officially allowed to be released under a revenue share agreement. To make the cut, major studios like Disney and 20th Century Fox are trying to make blockbusters that appeal to Chinese audiences while keeping government censors happy.
If you're making a movie for over $100 million, China becomes an important part of the equation. The Ministry of Propaganda has now taken over as the official censoring bureau. So there's a major transition of power from what used to be the Ministry of Radio, Film and Television and the Press. Now it's being turned over to the Ministry of Propaganda. So there's a lot of uncertainty. Even the most seasoned film professionals have a really hard time reading the tea leaves.
An example of China's censorship of foreign films was seen in 2018's Freddie Mercury biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody. While the portrayal of Queen's frontman Freddie Mercury won the film an Oscar, many in the US called the film out for downplaying Mercury's sexuality. But Chinese people watching the film probably didn't even notice, since most scenes connected to Mercury's sexuality were cut out from the film. A scene where Mercury comes out as bisexual is gone, and during the moment that he reveals he has AIDS, the dialogue reportedly just cuts out.
I've got it. Got what?
It's not just parts of movies that are being cut, but Hollywood is making plot and casting decisions to get a better chance to premiere in China. Marvel's 2016 superhero film, Doctor Strange, is based on a comic by the same name. In the comic, Doctor Strange's mentor is a Tibetan monk, but in the film, the role of the Ancient One is played by British actor Tilda Swinton. The choice of casting a white actor as a Tibetan character caused controversy, but the film's writer explained it was worth it in order to be able to screen in China.
He originates from Tibet, so if you acknowledge that Tibet is a place and that he's Tibetan, you risk alienating 1 billion people who think that that's bullshit, and risk the Chinese government going, hey, you know, one of the biggest film watching countries in the world, we're not going to show your movie because you decided to get political.
For Hollywood films, creating a worldwide hit usually means playing it safe.
Hollywood studios tend to go for not offending. When you're sitting in the middle of Burbank or West Hollywood trying to think about what the Chinese audience would like, you really don't know. When Iron Man and Marvel really started, they tried to position themselves as a co-production by adding Fan Bingbing and a handful of other Chinese actors for a minute or two, which was only shown in China and then, cut down even less internationally. They thought that would be enough, but it ended up backfiring. And thus the Chinese terminology was dipping in something in soy sauce. Basically a superficial scrub.
Fan Bingbing might be one of China's biggest actors, but she also exemplifies the current state of the Chinese film industry.
Everybody knows about the Fan Bingbing tax situation, so there's a retroactive collection of back taxes. That has really severely impacted the film industry, particularly the mindset of senior management and investors.
As the Chinese government cracks down on the entertainment industry and local production slows, foreign films are looking to fill the growing number of theaters in China. That means more Hollywood films will be doing what they can to be important to China, even if it means bowing to censorship.